Welcome to Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We are out on location at Vinyl Diner on Broadway Avenue, and we've been welcomed with open arms, and it feels great to be here. I'd like to welcome my guest, Donna Miller, to the show. Donna.
Hello there, Wes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so stoked that you're here because we have been trying to get you here for so long.
Well, I'm really happy to be here, too.
Yeah.
I'm just really, really excited. I was scared, but excited, too.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Cold day and all. Good to be here.
Yes, it is a very cold day in Saskatoon, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So you are riding the wave of the being published. Your books have all come out quite quickly and quite close together in recent years,
Right.
which I think is really interesting. And I want to really dive into the premises of your books. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself, Donna, because you've had quite an interesting life.
I live in presently on a little acreage in a little blue trailer just outside of Asquith
Yeah.
with my dog Tika.
Nice.
I've had 6 kids. I got a bunch of grandkids, but
Yeah.
right now there's just Tika and I.
Yeah.
And I'm busy writing, and I also do a little bit of bookkeeping, stuff like that, to keep
Nice.
myself so that I can write.
Yeah. Now, what inspired you? You wrote a lot of your life story down. I've been reading your books, and you've really spilt it. You've been really brave and courageous and told your life story. I guess I want to know what motivated you to do that, because something must have triggered you, that need to write.
I've had a need to write all my life.
Yeah.
I wrote a romance story when I was just a teenager about 2 horses.
Yeah.
This stallion comes to the rescue of a mare that is in an overturned trailer.
Yeah.
So that was pretty well my first attempt.
Yeah.
And then when I lived in Saskatoon, I used to go down many mornings down to A&W on 8th Street.
Nice.
And I'd be writing away. Back then I was writing a science fiction entitled Daughters of Man.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that someday I would get published. But I never got that one published. But then I moved to Zealandia and then Rosetown, and then I joined a writers group.
Yes.
And before actually the writers group, I was already writing bits and pieces about my own life. And what I was going to do is I was going to use my own life and give myself a nice fairy tale ending. You know, where there's this big romance, someone comes to my rescue,
Yes.
and I'm all happy, and this man understands me, and all this kind of stuff. And I brought it to the writers group, and they said, no, it's not very good. It's not, not the best.
Yeah.
So I was so disillusioned. I thought to myself, well, I knew it. I just knew it. I'm no good. I'm just no good. So I threw it into the closet.
Yeah.
And then one woman from the writers group, she came up to me and she says, I think there's merit, she says, in
Nice.
your book. Keep on writing, she says. I sense a lot of truth in there. And I told her, well, I said, most of it is true. It's about me, just a little bit of fairy tale ending. So anyway, I got writing and improving it, and then I brought it back there again, and they said, a lot better, Donna, they said, but your characters are unrealistic. And I said to them, I said, well, I'm sorry, I says, but those characters are real. And if I change that part of the story, then I'm going to be making this book complete fiction. So they look kind of like, oh, okay. So then they realized it wasn't just all fiction type of thing. So that's why I started writing, actually, and
Laying out the truth.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I first-personed it. Before that, I third-personed it.
Yes.
And then I first-personed it. The only thing I did was change my name, and it made it a little bit easier to write about myself by giving myself the name Corel instead of
Nice.
Donna.
Good
But
names.
It's all true.
Nice. I guess that's a lead into the actual books themselves. And I'd like to actually just kind of quickly go through them one by one, because the first one that came out was Black Fury, which I read, which really wowed me. I was quite intrigued by it.
Thank you.
Yeah, just give us a rundown on Black Fury and the story inside of it.
Well, Black Fury, the first half of Black Fury is basically about my mother.
Yeah.
She was born in Warman.
Yeah.
And the life she had. And when she was 16, actually, she worked over at what they call the convalescent home
Yeah.
on what was then Avenue A in Saskatoon.
Right.
And she
right.
had a very, very rough childhood. She very strict disciplinarian father. And she got married at 16 and she went into abusive relationship. My father was an extremely intelligent man, almost to the point of genius. But I wonder sometimes now if he wasn't a bit of a sociopath. When I hear about the traits of sociopath, I think that's what he was, because outside of the home he was charming. Everybody thought, oh, what a wonderful man he is.
Yeah.
You know, like he would never do anything like this or that. And he wore a business suit and
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful man.
Yeah.
And so my mother lived with him. And then the second half of the book, I enter the picture.
Right.
And at first I thought that what was going on between my mom and dad, this abuse, I thought that was just a big act that they were putting on a play for me, Donna.
Wow.
Yes, like, wow. Why would they want to put such a terrible play on, though? All that fake blood, that really scary. You know, I don't like that fake blood.
Yeah.
And I'd go hide in my closet because
Yeah.
it scared me.
Yes.
And then when I got a little bit older, I realized it wasn't an act.
Yes.
And then I took on the persona of this beautiful wild black stallion, Black Fury. He was powerful and he was everything I was not. I was a sickly little girl with fuzzy blonde hair, but he was a male and powerful, and he could stop all the violence in the whole world. This beautiful, wonderful Mustang.
Yes. I love the alter ego theme that ran through the book. I could
Thank you.
Okay, we're running out of time, but I'd like to kind of dive into this little baby here, the follow-up to Black Fury.
Well, in there, I'm a little bit older,
Yeah.
and eventually in that book, I do get married. I have a family of my own. But unfortunately, try as hard as I can, a lot of the parent tapes, I guess you could say, from my childhood affects how I raise my children. I'm trying very hard not to be like my father, yet at the same time, there's the background. There's like, my mother was abused, so I'm almost taking on the persona of my mother, my father, and also me as a little child in my childhood, and it makes it very difficult for me to be the kind of mother that I want to be.
I found this one to be more of a journey of self-discovery.
Yes, it
Yes.
was that too. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah, very clever. And I do want to mention the covers. The covers of your books are striking, and they were designed by your Nicholsworth Publishing in Regina.
She did beautiful
Beautiful
job. Yes.
covers, yes. Okay, now this last little gem.
Know thyself.
Know
Okay.
thyself.
I find myself now living out in the bush.
Yeah,
In the
that's what we
bush
love about you.
country. Yeah, I'm out in the bush country near Big River, Ladder Valley. No running water. No. Well, toward the end, I have no electricity, but that's toward the end.
Yeah.
But I also discover astrology, and I figure, well, finally, I'll be able to know who Donna is. Oh, this is so wonderful. I'm going to finally, once and for all, know who I am.
Yeah.
That'll be so simple. So I take the course, and then I do all the mathematical, and that's very easy,
Yeah.
the mathematical part.
Yeah.
But then trying to interpret exactly, well, what does Moon in Gemini
Yeah.
square Virgo?
Yeah.
Virgo is likes routine.
Yeah.
Gemini hates routine.
Yeah.
So what does that all mean? Like, I knew what it all meant, but I did not understand what
Yeah.
I knew.
You're a student of life. That's what I think
That's
you are.
right, yes.
Okay, I know we're out of time. I could talk to you forever because I know you're fascinating. But
Oh, well, thank you.
yeah, I do want to get out to the viewers though. Where in Saskatchewan are your books?
They're all over the place.
Good.
They're in McNally, Robinson's, they're in
Yeah.
Coles, they're in Indigo. But for some reason, there's lots and lots of Battleford. I don't know why. People in Battleford seem to like my books.
Actually, you're not the first guest to say that. There's a
Really?
there's a big reading community there.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
so kudos to them.
Yes.
Yes.
I really thank you.
Yeah.
If you guys are seeing me in Battleford, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, of course, I sell them. Heather sells them.
Yes.
My Heather Nicholsworth Publishing.
Your Nicholsworth Publishing, they
Yeah.
have a website, and it's easy to find. You just have to Google your Nicholsworth Publishing, Regina. So
Right.
yeah. I know we're out of time, so I just want to thank you for coming up here. You are always very intriguing to talk to. So
Well, thank you. So are you.
yes. Oh, wow, thanks.
You're
Hopefully
welcome.
we'll get you back.
Okay, thank you.
That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous segments on Shaw TV or on my website, westfunk.ca, and you can connect with Lit Happens on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I'll see you next time on Lit Happens.